what we've learned. Are we ready for our final roast battle of the evening? Yeah? Okay. Well, without further ado, can I please welcome to the stage Mr. Jake Garrett? And Mr. Caleb James! Again, we fucked up the fucking heights on these microphones. Alright, so who wants to go first? Jake's going first.
Oh, are we everyone alright? Yeah. Get that energy in, want to figure out which hand to hold the microphone in. Sorry. It is really nice to be here doing this roast battle tonight. It's nice to be partnered with Caleb, as weird as that may sound. I knew that this would be a fun matchup, mainly because it would give him an actual incentive to write a joke for once, instead of just bragging that he's gargled a stranger's cum. I know none of you have seen this set before, don't worry about it, it's not worth it. Caleb is a bit fruity. By that I mean he keeps the doctors away due to his jaundiced complexion, horse-like teeth and fear of death. I find this phobia of dying really ironic because every time he stands on stage he dies the worst death of all. He recently did a competition, I was really excited for it, and messaged me immediately afterwards that yeah, I fucking died on my arse. I was not surprised, I was about as surprised as I was when Liz Truss got kicked out. Contrary to popular belief, Caleb's pasty white skin isn't actually a result of using semen as moisturiser, but actually...
Not through lack of trying.
No, it's actually because he relies on money from comedy to eat, so as you can see, severely malnourished. In fact, the only sustenance he gets is from flating comedy promoters to get gigs. Luckily, Dave is recently single and desperate, so he's fortunate enough to get a spot here tonight.
Thank you very much. So I should start by saying that Jake and I laid some ground rules of things that we shouldn't say. And the one thing he said he didn't want any jokes about his mum. So she's been through a lot recently. He said, just leave her. So I will leave her. Just like Jake's dad did. You might be wondering, who the fuck are these comedians? You might have seen me, I was recently on the Dave comedy panel show Unforgivable with Lou Sanders and Mel Giedroyc. You might have seen me on the Hot Water Comedy Club, one of the best comedy clubs in the entire UK. You might recognise Jake, you might have seen him masturbating outside primary schools. Yeah. It'd be good if I could remember them, wouldn't it?
That's what most of you said, to be honest, mate.
Yeah. Jake's nickname on the scene is Blitzkrieg. He's known for bombing across the nation. He's a very prolific open mic. He's actually done twice the amount of gigs that I've done, even though we started at roughly the same time. So I guess you could say he's twice the comedian I am, if you go by weight.
It's all in your cock, Rick. It's all in your cock. Caleb often complains about being perpetually single. In fact, his last proper relationship was with a 15-year-old girl. He claims he was a 15-year-old boy at the time, however, I think that's just what he was pretending to be while attempting to reverse catfish the paedophile vendors on Habbo Hotel. Now, me and Caleb have been chatting shit about each other online to kind of bring up the energy for this roast. And during so, he referred to me as the troll from the first Harry Potter film. Some of you may have seen the poster he created when I shared it because I've got so many more followers than him. Genuinely, tonight I was talking to a few of the other acts in comics and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's really nice seeing you two take the piss out of each other. Although I only follow you, so I only saw your half of it. But no, on this poster I compared him to one of the twins from the Rugrats, Phil and Lil, as he has a similar mental age. It's actually a little known fact though that Caleb was involved with the production of the Harry Potter films, where he was cast as the failed abortion of Ginny Weasley. They attempted to use Ron's broken wand from the second film to cast the fetus deletus spell, and this is the result. Now, I shouldn't actually make fun of Caleb's appearance too much. I actually work with charities and help people like himself who have managed to survive leukemia. You did have leukemia, right, Garrett?
Maybe.
I just assumed you did because you look like one of the ghosts of one of the children murdered by John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, great. So, if you've ever seen Jake live, you know that he's bisexual. Right?
Yeah.
Bisexual, still bisexual. I think he's got a girlfriend, man, that might change. No, Jake's bisexual, which means he gets rejected by men and women alike. Yeah, the only pair of tits Jake's ever got his hands on are his own. Yeah. I mean, you know, looking like that, it's very easy to get rejected by most men and women. He looks like an extra at EDL rally.
You're right, Caleb, I do look weird.
And he's got a face so creepy, even his hairline starts slowly backing away. You can't see it underneath the MAGA hat.
You're right, Caleb, I do look really fucking weird. Really weird. I actually attempted to get this photo printed properly on a t-shirt. They wouldn't let me. I realise it's creased to fuck, but that's because, you know, I've moved while wearing it. But no, like I did genuinely try to get this printed on a t-shirt, then realised I'd have to own something with his face on. And in trying to get it printed, they asked me, like, what charity do you work for? And when I said I didn't work for one, they were like, this is probably a hate crime.
That is the most attractive Jake has ever looked. Let's be honest. Jake, people often ask me, how does Jake get so many gigs? And honestly, it's because of his gags. Sorry, I should clarify. He gets them on his knees, gagging. I shouldn't joke. Jake is he's such a sweet guy. He's a mental health advocate. In fact, he's told me if I'm ever having dark thoughts, I should approach him. Which is kind of, you know, awkward and ironic, because whenever I'm thinking about killing myself, it's when I'm watching him perform.
So, Caleb's parents are Scottish. He speaks about them in his set, about how basically they married the first non-English people they met, being each other. This is evident by the fact that Caleb is the poster boy for why cousins shouldn't fuck. Caleb is strangely proud of his appearance. Most gym goers tend to have big arms and skinny legs, but this guy's gone the other way around, so he looks like a T-Rex with dyspraxia. Caleb has had a multitude of jobs across his life, including window cleaning, working for Amazon, animation and video editing. We're going to skip over the fact that those media skills are probably a result of making gay hentai videos in his parents' bedroom. We're actually going to focus on the highlight of his career. Caleb was actually paid to have uniformed men in masks blast their balls all over his face. Yep, you guessed it, he was a paintball marshal. Caleb's nan unfortunately lost her life after suffering from dementia. Although I'm going to be honest, I am going to blame Caleb for this, because I've met him and I tried to force myself to forget the cunt too.
She's in a better place now, and so am I, because I got the house from the will. Now, it would be rude of me to say that Jake has got a tiny cock. All I'll say is the only time he's ever at risk of being called Kong is when he hopefully kills himself. Jake has recently got into a relationship, but before that I heard him described as quite the catch. Yes, the same way that gonorrhea is quite the catch. His girlfriend Jess has came tonight. First time since she's been with Jake. She got a mustache ride from Dave backstage. If you're not familiar with her, she's the one in the mask. Not because she's ugly, she's very pretty, she's wearing a mask because she's got COVID. I'm just assuming because clearly she's got no fucking taste. Last one. I feel bad roasting Jake because we've become actually really close during this process. We've been kind of going through learning about each other. As he's mentioned my nan, he was one of the first people I kind of opened up to, talk to him about my nan, how she had late stage dementia, she stopped talking, she eventually stopped eating. I told him how my mom stayed with her for a week, day and night, watching as her mother slowly withered and died. She said it was one of the most painful, brutal experiences she's ever had to endure. Until she came to one of my gigs and saw Jake perform. Apparently that was much more painful.
That's just because I fucked her after the show.
All right. Okay, well, again, fuck me, it's been close tonight. All right. We're going to throw it out to you guys again. So, remember, only cheer once. Give it up for Jake. Give it up for Caleb. Caleb takes it. Well done, gents. Very well done. All right. That's it. We're done. We've done it. We've done our second row.